The disaster in the Clifton neighborhood, that massive explosion at a plant just east of downtown Louisville, heard from southern Indiana to Mount Washington, Kentucky. The number of injured has risen tonight. It is our top story with all new reports on the WHAS 11 night team. Hello, everyone. I'm Doug Prophet. Now, take a look from the Sky 11 drone before sunset. You get the real picture of this giant blast ripping apart the old D.D. Williamson food additive plant in the heart of the Clifton neighborhood. Firefighters stayed on the scene. As you can see, for hours they were continuing to pour water right onto the plant. Tonight, there are serious injuries to report about employees. As of news time, no reports of fatalities at the moment. It happened at 1901 Payne Street. D.D. Williamson is now called the Give-It-Done plant. It sits surrounded by homes, with Frankfort Avenue just 3 blocks away to the north, I-64 right to the south. Team coverage from our WHAS 11 reporters on the scene since the first reports of the blast. Isaiah Kim Martinez is reporting along Frankfort Avenue, blocks away from the plant, where businesses still have major damage. The night team's Alex Dieter is back live right now near the plant. And Alex, we are certainly thinking of those who survived this horrific explosion today.
Right, Doug. I mean, as you can see behind me right here on Payne Street, law enforcement still on the scene, but we are seeing residential traffic being able to go in and out. Now, I do want to point out that just before 10 this evening, we did hear another update from Mayor Craig Greenberg. He did say that that injured total has risen to 12, and he also said Louisville Fire is still searching inside the building to make sure all of these employees are accounted for. Now, here at 11 o'clock is what we know. 12 people were injured in this explosion, and at last briefing we heard that all of these are employees. 2 of those employees were rescued from the building, and 1 of them was rescued by Louisville Fire. And lastly, we do want to reiterate that there are no confirmed fatalities at this moment. We've been hearing from city leaders and residents and neighbors all day about the moments that explosion happened.
I'm down at I definitely did use some sort of explosion.
Yeah, I was in class. It just shook a little bit.
Emergency vehicles rushing to the scene of a massive explosion at the Give-It-Done food additive plant in the Clifton neighborhood at 3 o'clock. You can see here from the Sky 11 drone a huge hole now in the building, debris from the building blown onto the train tracks, employees rescued from the building and rushed to the hospital.
It can be burns, it can be blunt injuries, it can be penetrating injuries, trapped by debris, chemical explosions, and chemical exposures.
U of L Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jason Smith told WHAS 11 2 people were in critical condition of the 7 employees that were sent to U of L.
There were a fair amount of burn injuries, a pretty significant amount of blast injuries as well, from the penetrating and blunt injuries from the force of the explosion, as well as some crush injuries where some debris had fallen on the patient.
Viewers recorded moments after the blast, like this video from Mo Deljoux. You can see another angle here taken by Clifton Neighborhood Association President Michael Leary. Clouds of smoke, debris all over the road, and a pole going right through a car. O'Leary lives right behind the building and felt the explosion that was felt for miles.
I was actually working and felt this incredible explosion. It was, I felt it in my chest. It was a pressure type thing. And my husband and I are like, what the heck is that?
This is not only a fire run, this is a structural collapse run, and this is a hazardous materials run.
Neighbors within a 1-mile radius were told by law enforcement to shelter in place. That was lifted quickly. Some were even told to leave their homes.
There was an evacuation. That was a precautionary measure that was done immediately because we didn't know exactly what we're dealing with. We don't precisely know yet exactly what types of leaks may happen or may be ongoing.
Councilman Andrew Owen went to the impacted neighborhoods. You can see here damage to homes, pieces of metal shot into the street.
People were clearly shaken.
Checking on the people of his district.
I knocked on doors of the neighbors who live next to the facility, went inside one of the houses, and one of the guys showed me a piece of metal about the size of an old cannonball that was laying on the floor of his kid's bedroom that had come through the window.
A community that responded quickly, preventing more tragedy for the Clifton neighborhood.
Something like this just demonstrates the teamwork here within this community. And I think that's shown over and over again between what EMS, what fire, and what police do, the way they respond to things, their ability to get patients to us that we need to take care of.
Now, we were told that emergency services have been monitoring the air quality for any leaks of chemicals from this explosion. And last we heard this afternoon is that these tests did come back clear. They did tell us they will continue to monitor for any of those leaks. Live in the Clifton neighborhood, Alex Dieterer with photojournalist Levi Hammer, the WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Alex, thank you very much. For those of you who have damage to your house or property, you need to leave all of the debris where it is and contact MetroSafe at 502-574-2117 to report any further damage. Not because the debris is contaminated, but because it will help investigators piece together the puzzle of what happened at 3 this afternoon.